Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Chaffee here on this very early Thursday morning, where we're watching Tropical Storm Cindy. The center of the tropical storm is just now making landfall along here's the border of Texas and Louisiana. So it's very close. Looks like it's coming in on the Texas side. And you're looking at the radar loop as of 12:15 a.m. and the heavy rains, the back edge of that heavy rain is now just about to Houston and Galveston, and the back edge is moving westward. It's only going to get so far west as this system moves northwest and then northward. The top winds are 50 miles an hour, but the real issue with this has been the rainfall, and I'm going to show you the storm totals as represented by the radar. And in the red here, each radar, I'm going to show you a couple of different ones. Each one's going to have, the scale is going to be a little bit different. The red indicating 6-inch plus rains. So all along the southwestern Louisiana coast, we're seeing 6-inch plus rains. Also into southeast Texas, 6-inch plus rains. And the yellow is the back edge of the 3-inch rains. So they're almost to about Galveston Bay. You can see Houston is still in that lighter blue, so they've only got less than half an inch, but they're going to make up some of it as that heavy rain band gets close. But again, the bulk of this is going to go northwest rather than westward, and you know there's been some significant rains further inland as you move up into southeastern Texas and into southwestern Louisiana. I'm going to move now over to the Baton Rouge radar, showing you the storm totals here, and the yellows are all 4-inch plus rains that have occurred in southeastern Louisiana and on up into the southern part of Mississippi. Here's I-10. Actually, I'm sorry, that's I-12. There's I-10 right through here. So you know, quite a bit of heavy rain there, and we'll go eastward to Mobile, where the rain falls also in the yellows, 3 inches or more. So basically, in the yellow areas, 3 to as much as 5 inches of rain that has fallen in those areas. A lot of the heavy rain has been to the east. And of course, this is for those of you who are new to the channel, Kobu has just decided, my cat, Kovu. He's a good boy, very affectionate, and he sometimes likes to join in these videos that I do. Let's loop around and see what's going on in terms of rain. The bands of rain, there's still bands of rain coming in to Alabama and Mississippi, but they're spread out quite a bit. The steady heavy rain that was there yesterday and last night, that has lessened considerably. We'll go west, and you can see in southeastern Louisiana, you do have some bands, but again, there is a bit of a dry slot that's kind of worked its way up into southeastern Louisiana. So there are downpours, but there are large areas right now where it is not raining. And when we head over we'll go back to Lake Charles, and you can see where the heavy rains are. What happened is when the center of circulation, this kind of looks more like a subtropical storm than anything else, but there is that core circulation that kind of separated itself from some of the convection, most of the convection that formed to the east and northeast of the center. That area has moved up into central and northern Mississippi and central and northern Alabama, and then you have that separate area of rain that surrounds the circulation. Here's how it looks on the water vapor imagery, and on the video I did earlier today. You see what the problem was in terms of strengthening. You have a lot of dry air here. All this brown, whitish brown you see here circulating around. There's a large upper low that's sitting near where the storm is, and it's circulating a lot of dry air into its circulation. So that's why you never saw this thing really strengthen that much, and you know the core surface circulation separating from the main band of rain that formed yesterday. Now all of this moisture is trying to push northward, so we're going to have to see from respect to our area if it's going to impact the weather here probably later Friday night or early Saturday with some rain or showers. We're going to get some anyway because of an approaching cold front. Here's the tighter satellite view. You can see the center right over here from earlier, just getting onto the coastline at this point. And here's that wide radar. Here's that rain, as I said, from that the area that was east and north of the center has kind of separated from the circulation, and this is getting pushed up into central Mississippi, northern Louisiana, central Mississippi, central Alabama, and back through Georgia, and even some leftover rain over parts of northeast Florida. We're going to look at the GFS model and a couple of others in terms of where this is all going to take us, and I'm going to sort of back it up. So here's the new GFS, which shows the low on the coast, and you can see it just kind of moves in, maintains its identity there with a closed surface low, but at this point, of course, it's not tropical. And you've got this weather front that's coming eastward here. So here we are Saturday morning. You've got the front through right there, and here's the remnant low with what was Cindy, and it's moving northeastward. This model is the most aggressive of all of them in terms of bringing in rain Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. In fact, it still has back edge of rain just exiting this area later Saturday afternoon to Saturday evening before it turns decent for Sunday. I think Sunday still holds to be okay, but the question is whether this is correct or not. Now, not all the models agree with this assessment. I'm going to show you the NAM model, for example, which actually doesn't show very much at all. It really takes that rain area, and you can see it here. This is, I can tell you right now, one of the problems with the NAM is that it's not showing the rain that's up through Georgia. It's really underdoing the rain that's to the northeast. So you have to wonder whether this model has a good depiction of the system going forward, because a lot of this precip may be underdone. And you can see it swinging up to the northeast. It kind of falls apart. You got this lead moisture that's going to get here anyway, but here's some of that remnant rain, and it really sort of loses its identity on the NAM. You can barely find it, and it weakens it considerably. So this would have, there might be a couple of showers running around Saturday morning, but on the whole, it paints a little bit of a better picture as far as the first half of the weekend is concerned for eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, and for southern New England. The GFS has that kind of gloomier look for Saturday. Let's see if the Canadian is out far enough, and unfortunately it's not. The Canadian actually, it loses, it still sort of has the surface low here right in there. This is all frontal, so we would have gotten this this was going to happen anyhow, but we're going to have to see whether the GFS is correct in its depiction of all the rain that's being shown on the radar. You can see here's the actual radar at the moment with this rain that goes from most of Georgia back over through Alabama and Mississippi, and then again when we switch over to the NAM model, and there you have it. Let me just back it up so we can look at apples and apples here. Sorry. So here we are at this is roughly the current time, so a little after midnight. This is what the NAM said the radar should look like. This is what it actually looks like. Okay, so clearly it's underdoing what reality is telling us. So we're going to have to be really careful here in terms of some of these models that are not showing this moisture field well at all. And when we look at the overall upper air pattern, I just want to point out, let me just put the upper air. We'll use the full USA, and we'll put up the upper air pattern for you. Let me just back this up just a little bit. You do have this trough here in the eastern part of the U.S. This was from earlier this week. That kind of pulled out. Now we've got this next trough that's diving down. Here's the remnant low, the upper reflection of Cindy, and this trough absorbs it and basically kicks it out to the northeast. You can't really find it anymore as you move into Saturday, but it's there in the flow. And the general jet pattern here is west-southwest. So anything that comes out of here is going to try and move to the northeast. This trough is going to be swinging through, so we're going to have to wait until later the day on Thursday, to see the next couple of runs of models to see if this is correct. And in general, as we go into next week, we're going to have troughing here in the eastern part of the United States. The jet stream is unusually strong and unusually far south for this time of year. So that's going to keep things probably cooler than average through much of next week across the Northeast and through the Midwest. So if you're looking for hot weather, it's not going to be coming anytime soon. So there you have it with respect to what's been going on. Here's the last look at one last look at the radar as Cindy makes landfall. And here we are in the middle of June. We've already gone through 3 named storms in the Atlantic, and we had 2 of them at the same time during the month of June. That's pretty unusual. You get a storm in June maybe not every year, probably one every 2 or 3 years that you get a tropical storm in June. You go many Junes where you don't see anything. And here we had 2. We had Tropical Storm Brett a few days ago, unusually far to the south. And now we have Cindy done. So the next system, the next named storm will be Don, whenever that comes. All right, so everybody have a great day. Tune in later today. I'll have a fresh video, and we'll look at see what it means for our weekend weather here in the Northeast and in the northern mid-Atlantic states. You can check out my website posts on meteorologistjoechaffe.com, and you can go to my Facebook page as well, Meteorologist Joe Ciaffe. You can like the page. I put a lot of stuff up there, which I think you'll really like if you're into weather. And thank you very much. Welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. If you are here today brand new, welcome. Please subscribe. It's absolutely free. And please comment. I enjoy your comments very much, and I do participate in the conversation. If you have any questions, opinions, observations, by all means, please share them, and I will certainly respond to them. Have a great Thursday.